We are learning Mishna Nedarim, Parak Vav, Chapter 6, Mishna Gimel, Mishnah 3. Okay, so this person makes a neder min hakavish, from the kavish. Kavish means a food that is preserved. It's soaked for a long time in salt water, vinegar, in order to preserve it. So kavish means preserved. And we have to note for this Mishnah that here we have the word hakavish. That means he made a neder, meaning he forbade himself, using the word from hakavush. That here is very important because hakavush means the preserved food. Okay, what's the halacha ramification of that? Eino aser ela min hakavush shel yerek. The only thing that is preserved that you may not eat from is a preserved vegetable, like a pickle or something like that. Because when you say hakavush, the preserved food, that means you're speaking about a specific food, and you mean the food that is most commonly preserved, which is the vegetables. Okay? Now, if the person says kavush, when he makes his neder, he says that he forbids himself on kavush, not on hakavush, the preserved, but kavush, preserved food. Kavush any toyim. I'm not going to taste preserved food. Then he's going to be forbidden on anything that's preserved, because the hay makes the difference. Without a hay, it just means preserved. It means anything that's preserved. Once you have a hay in the beginning, then that means you're getting specific, and then we understand that you mean the most common one, and that's going to be the key to the rest of the Mishnah. The Mishnah is going to give a number of other examples of terminologies that is going to be a difference as to what neder includes, as to whether he uses the hay, the letter hay, which would mean the, or not. So next example, min ha-sholok. If you a person prohibited himself from ha-sholok, the overcooked food. So the example they give down on the bottom here is a well-done steak. It's overcooked, right? It could be it's well done. That means it's done, it's cooked, but now you cooked it more than usual. You cooked it more than just being cooked. It's overcooked. That's the word shalok. Shalok means overcooked. So min ha-shalok, if he says from the overcooked food, then the only overcooked food he'll be forbidden in it is overcooked meat, because the most commonly overcooked food is meat, and the means he's specific. Shaluk sheina tayim, but if his wording is I'm not going to taste shaluk, no hay, then it's forbidden in any overcooked food. Next example, min hatzali, from the roasted food. You're only going to be forbidden on roasted meat, because again he said the, and by being specific, we understand him to mean the most common. So hatzali, the roasted food, is going to only thing that he will be forbidding himself from is meat. That's the most commonly roasted food. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. These are the words of Rabbi Yehuda. Now, the fact that the Mishnah here puts in these are the words of Rabbi Yehuda, that would imply that there are those who do not agree with him. Correct. And that is true. When it comes to the word, specifically when it comes to the word hatzali, there are those that Rabbi Yehuda says the hatzali refers only to roasted meat, while others disagree, and hatzali, the roasted food, would actually include all roasted foods. Now again, the Mishnah continues following Rabbi Yehuda's opinion, sali sheina tayim, but if all he says is, I will not taste roasted food without the hay, asma chalat sluyim. Then Rabbi Yehuda says he'll be forbidden on any roasted food. And the last example of the Mishnah is min ha-maliach, from the salted food. And min ha-maliach shaldag. Then the only salted food that he would be, if he says the salted food, the only thing is forbidden on is salted fish. Because again, ha means the specific, he means the most common salted food is fish. Maliach, and this again, the only time there seems to be an argument is by the case of hatzali. But all the other cases, there doesn't seem to, there's no argument. Maliach sheni tayim, but if his wording is, I will not taste salted food, then he's forbidden in any salted food. Salted doesn't just mean you put a little bit of salt on it. Salted means that it's covered in salt, and it stays in the salt, and it's supposed to preserve it or whatever it's supposed to do.
It's like a brain.
But if maluach means a specific amount of salt there for an extended I shouldn't. Well, maybe I'm getting too ahead of myself. But it doesn't mean when you put a little bit of table salt on your food. That's not what it includes. I don't believe it means something that you call it. You're salting it. And that is what that
steeped in the salt.
That would seem to be, and that is what is included in maliach. And again, without the hay, all salted foods will be forbidden. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi. Question: Do you forbid